What's going on, guys? I'm Josh from The Collecting Couple, and today we're going to be talking about the best pops so far in 2020. Welcome back to another video, guys. Before we start breaking down what the best pops of 2020 are so far this year, make sure you leave a like down below, and if you're new, hit subscribe and the notification bell so you know whenever we post a new video. Samantha's not here today, she's at work, but I'm going to be covering the top pops of 2020 so far. So we're almost in the last quarter of 2020, so I figured we'd look at some of the best pops that 2020 has come to offer us. Now, and these are going to be in no particular order except for the best ones. By far the best pop of the year, I will make sure to tell you which one is the best, but the rest of them are just going to kind of be random. 2020 started off with a bang for the ad icons line, and particularly for one pop that we have in our collection that I think is one of the best of the year. If you guys have been following the channel this year, you know that we really think that Morton Salt Girl is one of the best ad icons that have come out in recent years, and probably, honestly, in the past few years. So this is the common Morton Salt Girl. Honestly, just a really good pop. You can see on the back, no other pops in this line. There's no other ones planned, but this pop is just very well designed and executed. I never would have thought that we would have wanted or needed a Morton Salt Girl Funko Pop. Now this one is pretty good, but if you guys know, you've been following the pop community for a while, you know that this pop came out too this year. This is the Diamond Edition Box Lunch exclusive Morton Salt Girl. Now I do think that this one is better than the common Morton Salt Girl in my opinion. You can kind of see here that the colors are slightly different because of that glitter, but honestly, it doesn't really bother me at all. I think the glitter on it is great. I don't really know, this is one of those ones where we don't really understand the glitter too much, other than salt is kind of crystallized, and so maybe that's why they did a diamond pop like this. But overall, I think it looks really good. You can't ever catch it on camera very well, but the white glitter on this in particular, especially that umbrella back there, is fantastic and looks so good on this pop. And so that's why I think that the Morton Salt Girl is one of the best ad icons in a while, but also one of the best pops of 2020 so far. You guys know that SDCC 2020 just happened. We did a rant video on our channel. If you haven't gone to check that out, make sure you do, because it's a fun time. We just kind of get to rant and vent our frustrations at SDCC 2020. I'm sure you had some frustrations, so go check that out. But anyway, one of the pops we have on this list I do think is one of the best from 2020. It is from San Diego Comic-Con, so we just did pick it up. And I actually just watched this movie the other night too. And it is Nightcrawler from X-Men 2. So like I said, just watched this movie. This is a very cool pop from the X-Men 20th anniversary line. You can see some more of the pops there on the back. But this pop overall is just really awesome. And what makes this cool, different from the regular one, is that this is Nightcrawler in teleportation, mid-teleportation. So if you don't know, you haven't watched X-Men, Nightcrawler is a mutant that can teleport. And so he just kind of teleports. He doesn't make portals necessarily. So this pop is him kind of in mid-teleportation. He's like coming out of one of his teleportations. So you can see that there. He's in mid-jump and he is teleporting out of, you know, a wall or something out of midair, and it just looks really cool. And so I really like the detail on his face. The scarring on his face looks really great, but not only that, but just that portal and the fact that he's in a action pose, like he's leaping after doing a teleportation, it's really cool. And you know, we don't have the rest of the X-Men 20th anniversary line yet, but I think it's probably safe to say that the Nightcrawler SDCC exclusive, this one right here, is probably one of the best pops from that set, if not one of the best pops of 2020. Some more of the best pops of 2020 actually just came out recently. I have one of the pops here that is my personal favorite from this line, but really the entire line is one of the best of 2020. And that, of course, is the Disney Alien Pixar Remix Pops. So if you aren't familiar with this line, this is a line where Disney took the alien from Toy Story and kind of remixed them into different characters from different Pixar movies. So this one, the alien is dressed up as Carl from Up. And you can see on the back here some of the other characters that are in this line, like Dory, Zurg, Doug, Russell, pops like that. So they've taken it and just dressed them up like different characters from Pixar movies. But Samantha and I are really digging this line. We have almost all of Wave 1. We're just missing Dot. This one is my personal favorite though, just because the level of detail that is on this pop is fantastic. Really all of the ones where they had the alien dressed up as a character from Up look really great, and I really like those. We also did a case of the mystery minis recently that they came out with, so go check that out on the channel if you haven't already. But this series of Pops overall is just very well done. It's honestly the best thing that Funko has done Disney in a really long time. Samantha and I have been a little discouraged about the amount of Disney Pops coming up from Funko. They used to do a lot more and some really good stuff. Recently, not so much, but this definitely was one of the best things that has come out for the Disney line for Funko. And like we said, it deserves a spot on this list as one of the best pop lines of 2020. If you've been with the channel for a while, or even if you just take a quick look at our background, you would know that I am a huge Star Wars fan and I love collecting all things Star Wars Funko Pops. And one of my favorite Star Wars, I guess, mini lines, Star Wars is its own line, they have kind of like little mini lines within that, like The Last Jedi, or, you know, they do some classic stuff. This one was for the 40th anniversary of The Empire Strikes Back, my personal favorite Star Wars movie. They've come out with a ton of Pops from this line that are just fantastic, and I'm glad they came out with them. I think there's several from that line that could have made it on the best of 2020 list, but for me personally, my favorite Pop from the 40th anniversary Empire Strikes Back line, and I think Samantha's is as well, is Luke Skywalker with Yoda. So this is a really cool Pop. This is from a scene in the movie. If you haven't seen The Empire Strikes Back, I highly recommend you go watch it. But Luke Skywalker goes to train on Dagobah with Master Yoda, and he kind of gets sweaty and Yoda rides on his back, and this is that scene right there. So this is really cool because if you don't know, Star Wars Pops have to be on a base. That's part of the licensing that they have with, I want to say it's Hasbro, I want to say might have the licensing rights to Star Wars. So what they did with this one, and I like when they do this with the bases, they incorporated the base as part of the figure. So instead of just being a regular black base, which is a lot of Star Wars Pops have, this is the mossy, muddy, dirty, gross swampiness of the planet Dagobah. And this is also kind of a bonus because it's like two figures in one. So you can see there we have Luke Skywalker and you can see Yoda peeking around on the back, and then there's the back there. Overall, just a really fantastic Pop. Like I said, definitely probably, I don't want to say definitely, but one of my favorites from the Empire Strikes Back line. It's so hard for me to pick because I just love that movie so much. And this line, Funko really killed it with this line. But if I had to take a guess, this one probably is Samantha's favorite too from this line. And I could not put something from the 40th anniversary of Empire Strikes Back, my personal favorite movie probably of all time. I could not put it on the best of Pops of 2020 list. So all the Pops I just showed off, like I said at the beginning of the video, you know, no particular order at all, just what I feel like are some of the best ones that have come out in 2020 so far. And I think Samantha would definitely agree. So those are in no order, just what we think are the best. Although I'm saving the best one for last. You might be asking, what do you think is the best Pop of 2020, Josh? Well, I'll tell you what I think the best Pop set is of 2020 so far, in my opinion, and I think it might be the best of 2020 all year. And maybe you guessed it, but it is the McDonald's Funko Pops. These did just come out. We got them less than a week ago, and in my opinion, I really think these are the best Funko Pops of 2020. Just iconic classic characters, Pops that have been anticipated for 2 or 3 years at this point, and we're just so glad that we have them in our collection. There are going to be more of these Pops coming out, but wow, I mean, honestly, what some great ad icons. We started the video with ad icons, and I think that the ad icons for McDonald's have taken the cake for 2020 so far, even for me over Empire Strikes Back line. These just look so good, and again, they've been so heavily anticipated for years at this point that I don't see any way that people couldn't put these on their top, like the top Pops of 2020. I don't, even if it's not your number one, I don't see how you could not put it on there. But these are just classic ad icon Funko Pops. I mean, everyone knows these characters for the most part, and like I said, the hype around them has just been so high. We've been waiting for so long, and I just think they're the best Pops of 2020, guys. So guys, that's what we think the best Pops of 2020 so far are. Let us know down below, what are some of your favorite Pops of 2020? Do you agree with some of the things we had on this list? And do you think that McDonald's are the top Pops of 2020? But before we get out of here, make sure that you leave a like down below and hit subscribe and the notification bell so you know when we post a new video. But that's going to be it for today. We will see you next time. And remember, never stop collecting.